first and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, elder bishops, salutations to all our fellow laborers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, right? To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the spectral bird, among the heathens that look like the heathens, to those few like the rest of the earth. Hey, this is serious times that we live in. Word just got out, that Larry Lightfoot is hanging out with her tribe, Alphabet Lifestyle tribe, and basically it's funny how she's willing to go against grain against the government to war for women, so that they can actually commit murder against their babies, their unborn children. All right, but at the same time, she was ready to oppress people for not wanting to not their body their choice when it came to taking medicine, into their bodies that could possibly do harm to them. All right, but in a lot of cases, it has a lot of medicines. I don't want to say anything, provocative medically, but a lot of medicines have done great harm to people. But all it's showing you is that the ultra division on every facet of life here in Babylon, all right, it's divided in every aspect. The left versus the right, the alphabet lifestyles against the normal people, the Democratic versus the Republicans, which that's all a joke because they're all a part of the same thing. They're all a part of the same hateful bird, So it doesn't matter. Which side you go with. Neither side is for our people, all right? Then neither side is for our people. No matter what you what you think and what you do, all right? And as a matter of fact, bring out a scripture that I love so much because it's so fitting. Give me that Daniel 8:25, because they're always trying to pass legislation, and sign things into law. That's supposed to bring peace, safety, and tranquility. But through peace, they've been great violence, right? And that, over and over and over again. How many things do they have to do, man? Like the bill is just, and it's funny. Now all of a sudden they want to use the legislation, use the whole judicial system, because when it came to the demic, everything was executive this and executive that. Right. Now with this, but they tread softly with this gun thing, because they don't, hey, you got the people on the right side. You start, playing with their guns, you're gonna have some problems. So they tread delicately with that, and they actually passing bills. And see, that's basically you have the legislative branch that the lobbyists that bring forth ideas for law, and then that gets written into a bill, and then that bill gets brought before the Senate, and then they vote on it. All right. So this is a bill for nuclear control. He just didn't do no executive thing, because if he do that, he's gonna have problems, and they know that. So and the problems are coming, and they know it's coming, but they try to stop it. Hey, we got the money to watch about a month. So they trying to tread delicately with that. But either way it goes, it is, no matter what they say, maliciousness is in there. It's mischief by law.
Daniel 8:25. That's already 24. It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people. Because, like the elder said, this is going to be opening for the so-called black people. She's the top. She's at the top of the chart for fortune. All right. It says, verse 25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace he shall destroy many.
Right. Peace is going to destroy many, man, because look, the whole thing, Planned Parenthood was a strategic move to hit on J. Because even though I just watched the video where a nigga wanted to go to a person shot a jail, and then Benji sent me one where the chick shot the father of her child in the face, you know, with their son in the backseat of the car, right? You know, they had to be about 4 or 5, right? The most dangerous place for a so-called black male in America is inside a woman's room. That's factual. And so this is backfiring on these people. See, his own legislation, his policy, he caused a lot of his own people to die. All right? He caused a lot of his own people to die. And see, that opioid pops. And that opioid pops. That opioid crisis, it messed him up. Yeah, that because that opioid crisis wiped out a huge portion of Edomites, of white people that were in childbearing ages, right? But you gotta remember they lost 40 million people. And yet they still, you know, talking about their economy, right? They already doing it. That's why the Africans win. What you have to understand is that this Roy versus Wade, and you got a lot of white women saying this protect white patriarchy. Because the problem is that they're trying to get white women to have babies. Right? And so it's too late for that because you got these women conditioned and trained up on, no, go get rid of your baby, your career.
Right.
You know, your job, your career. So you got these women in this career-minded woman. I want to travel. I want to have fun. I want to slut myself out in my 20s and have in my 30s. Then I'll settle down and get married. You know, in my late 30s, and then start trying to have babies. That was a problem for them too, right? Because you know, them being a weaker people, they're not as fun. You know what I'm saying? So everything that they do is coming back to backfire. No matter how you measure it up, it's all backfiring. Okay? So, and then the flip side of that is by making it where these black women can't kill their babies, we're going to increase jail. These Latino women can't kill their babies, we're going to increase jail, man. All right? Because if you have white men impregnate white women, and you have Jake impregnate our own women, we're going to always outdo you.
Then it's a lot of white women get rid of their Jake baby.
Yes.
So they just increase the Jake. Twofold.
Nah, it's a lot of white women having a Jake baby. Nigga, bitch looked me dead in the eyes, man. Like 2 days ago. She said, bitch, white, you was right as fuck on the Zoom. She said, me and my uncle, that's how we just talk, man, without more male babies.
See? And that's becoming a common conversation with so-called white people. Before we get to the other scripture, Deuteronomy 30:7.
That's right.
Because we've often heard the brother say that you never see white women, coming against a white man, not at least not on a platform like YouTube, Facebook, you know, where their faces being shown and all that. They'll say it in conversation. I've heard them say it. And now it's getting to the point where they're getting like the nigga against their own nigga. They call them colonizers, and they basically are ashamed of their own history, and they're ashamed of being a part of them. And it's starting to show itself. What we witnessed last week,
right,
with the big titty white girl right around the corner here, all right, was evidence of that. All right, when she actually helped Jake supplant one of her own men, one of her own people. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 30:7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.
Right, so that hurt, that shame, and that embarrassment, you know, Esau is being made bare, and he's being shamed, and he's being brought low. As a matter of fact, everything I just said, I pray for that daily, man. That they be shamed and they be brought low. I pray that their health and their hope and their posterity all be brought low.
Right.
Right? So that they out here jumping and bouncing 3 feet off the concrete from 16 stories of height.
Black. I got one for what you just said. This is Job 27:15.
Perfect.
It says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. See, y'all had to really fuck our women over, mentally, physically, spiritually, to really get them to turn against us. All we gotta do is be us, and the white bitches coming like a flock. And that goes for Esau, the Arabs, the Asians.
That video with the spoiled Jake walking through Thailand.
Oh, yeah, that
First
nigga
thing
thought he
she
was
say is BBC.
Come on, man.
Chocolate Man. And you know what? Guess I lived that shit. I was there. It happened to me. So I know what was going down, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, Jake, hey, when I was there, man, and it looked like it's the same, he was evidence of it. Jake wasn't buying no prostitutes and them hoes over there. Esau was.
That's his job.
Ephraim and Judah was getting all the women, man. I witnessed it. I was there. All right?
This white lady just asked me at the fucking Lifetime. She said, would you take my friend on a date? Would you take me on a date? I said, no, hey, come here. That's their job. That's their job. The fact we even having this conversation unsolicited, that's not my job. What you think I'm gonna set myself up for a dry dick in an empty pocket? Are you crazy? Look, man, but what the elder said is very true, man. I tell niggas all the time, shit, that black woman is your enemy. The black woman is your enemy, and the devil doing her treat you like God, man.
Yeah, you know what? I was on the train on the way to teach class, to go to work before I came here. And I got on the blue line, and there was a nigga woman sitting at the top of the steps, right? With a hair hat on. She had a big ass. She looked like she was on her way to here. She had a great big old, luggage thing. And she stopped at the top of the stairs, and she kind of blocked it. So I stopped, and I was standing there next to her. She looking at me, and she thinking I'm gonna be like, oh, I got you, baby. Now, had she not had on a hair hat, and her breath didn't smell like Newports, I might have done it. All right, but I looked at her and I walked right around. Right? So I went on downstairs. I mean, you independent, you strong.
That's right.
So I went down the stairs. So and I'm standing that way from the train. Then she comes up, right behind me, not long behind me, and she went down a little bit, right maybe the train went away. Next thing you know, I smell cigarettes. I hate cigarettes. I hate the smell of tobacco in the passion. To the point that I pray to the Lord that just me smelling it, I get to put you to death. All right, just for having one in your hand can get you put to death. That day is coming. All right, but I look up and it's an Edomite smoking, and then the next thing you know, who's smoking with him? When you ain't supposed to smoke in the L train, when you smoke inside that enclosed corridor, it gets even stronger. And so who is it? Eve and Esau, both breaking together. And I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, hey, you go Eve and Esau doing definitely, all right? Because Esau, he knows he's not supposed to do that, all right? And definitely, she knows it too. All right? Exactly.
You were very like that brother.
I would have helped her if things.
Oh, I know your spirit told you.
But I stepped right around. So anyway,
yep.
So I get on the train, man. When I get on the train, guess what? It's a young brother, man. Couldn't have been no more than 20, 21 years old. Reading his Bible. So the Lord gave me balance, man. I saw the brother standing there reading his Bible. And it actually made me feel better about the situation. It reminded me that, hey, it's just a little bit more.
It's for somebody who's not.
Because here, you got these young brothers reading the scriptures on the train, all right? And then you got Eve following with Esau, breaking the laws of the land, and violating her temple. All right?
That's the book.
Proverbs 11:21. Go hand join in hand. Go ahead.
Y'all both should really read
Proverbs 11:21. Go hand join in hand. The wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Hey, so man, whether they're the tag team duo that has helped destroy the world, man, they're going to be fucking punished, man. They're going to be eviscerated. They're going to be confounded together. The scriptures say what? He that is hoping and he that is helping shall all fall together, man. So hey, this place is done.
And again, it's a lot. I'm just going to point out how he was destroyed.
He was
problem with that Edomite is that he
Right.
was Jewish. And so instead of seeing the Northern Kingdom brothers right over here, right? And then he see, and to see these signs, that messed him up, man.
That messed him up, bro.
That kind of shook him up. And then this little girl stopped.
He was like,
His spirit was disturbed.
he
I
was
can
like,
see
he
it.
stopped. Then he looked, then he did this. He was like,
And when he
fuck,
walked
let me
off,
call both guys.
yeah, right. He walked off like he had, like he had just got his candy taken.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
That motherfucker. I'm glad. I know you peeped it, but you were speaking. That's why I ain't want to talk about how I had to say it. Like,
No, but
you know that.
I peeped him.
Yeah, man, he was broken.
And I saw
man.
his countenance as he walked off. He literally walked off like
Yeah.
he was broken. Yeah.
I'm like, man, I want to do the brother see this, and then you said it. And I said, you like, here, tight. I'm like, I knew it. Because he was really fucked up. You know, the average eater might see this, but I was just thinking about something earlier, because I be around a lot of heathens, especially the ones with money. And I really, was really feeling myself and shit. I said, the heathens really hate us because we beautiful, man. They can't stand it when you see Jake out here not doing nigga shit, bro. They hate this truth because it's beautiful. Like this dude, he took pictures at the end of the camp, last week. And I walked over there and I told him, I said, shit always been to the dads, but, just make sure you get my good side. It don't offend me. Some brothers get offended. But he had said it like, what's this? I told him, look it up, it's the truth. The blacks, Latinos, the Native Americans, so-called Israelites, man. He said, well, I'm black and Greek. He said, I said, well, you should have that's the one world is really, but, it's through your father. But I had told him, he had told me, he said, bro, I ain't want to he said, bro, I didn't really want to disrespect y'all, but I never really see no black and Latino dudes together, and they ain't doing no crazy nigga shit, bro. He said, I had to take a picture.
Yeah.
He said, I just had
Yeah,
to.
because you sit
And he
together.
had his camera on.
Yeah, when they together, they go father. In most cases. But it just go to show you though that even on the left hand side, Jake getting together, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just like in LA, you don't see, Issachar and Judah always got into it out in LA. And out in LA, they kicking it.
Yeah.
Especially after that whole collaboration with that video that what's his name? The dude who got gunned down. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, that fuck Donald Trump thing he did with all the Northern Kingdom games and shit, man.
Yeah.
So and all over the country that's happening, man. And then the way Esau been doing redlining, he been forcing a lot of Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom together in neighborhoods, and they started to intermix and interbreed the same way they did in the South during the time of slavery, man. Judah and Gad were intermingling and mixing, in the South a lot. All right, and a lot of them were on the slave plantations together as well in the South, man. There's a lot of people. It's a lot of dudes walking around like Shalom. It's a lot of men and women walking around today that think they so-called black, man, and they really Gadites, man. Right? Yeah.
They came there and still niggas, even though y'all brown, Esau is red, they call themselves red. Gadites is red too. They said, you don't be red. You don't be that blue. I said, that's a nigga. That's how you know that's niggas.
Bunch of gang banging ass Gadites.
Just a group of niggas. That's how you know Jake is just a group of niggas, man.
There you go. Ezekiel 37:19. Say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel with fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, make them one stick, and there should be one in my hand, man. That's what the brother was saying, like he was surprised that he had to see so-called black and brown together, and now I'm no goddamn bullshit, man.
It's the sun.
Yeah.
This is a real play.
Amos 9:11, where it says, I shall raise the tabernacle for David.
Bring it up.
David had all the tribes underneath him, man. All the tribes submitted to him, man. Amos 9:11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. That's that separation between the raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all of the heathen which are called by my name. Alright, so what's happening is what? All 12 tribes are coming back together, man. Underneath what? That tabernacle of David on Yahusha.
Hey, that's why the scripture says in the book of Genesis, you know, David from the tribe of Judah, he said, unto him shall be the gathering of his brother, the tabernacle of David. And that was, he said, when you start off in that Genesis 49th chapter, he said, these be the signs that fall upon the children of Israel. And Judah rose up first. That's why I think it's Zechariah or Zechariah. He said, they say the test of Judah first. They got the truth, and then they hold up the place. All right, nothing else is the truth. And that kite damn sure not Israelite. Because that's not happening to him and the nigga vocab Malone.
Right. Them little Edomite girls, they were no different from Sally, the little Amy that grew up in America.
That's right.
Right?
They just got a trailer.
Exactly. You know, on their little quick school. And oblivious to what's going on. Being raised up in all these lives. All right? They were just streets of slaves and concubines.
That's right.
That's what they gonna grow up to be. Well, they in Babylon, they ain't growing. When they come back, that's what they gonna grow up to be.
They miss it.
Yeah, they ain't gonna make it.
Hell,
He might eat them. He might eat
I was just saying, he don't eat, that's the spirit.
Yeah,
He don't eat
he might eat them. Right?
He's gonna go crazy. Then he's gonna jump out the high rise. They're gonna be locked in the high rise together like the F tribes.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be locked in the fucking platform together.
A lot of these, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the things that's gonna go on in these high-rise buildings are gonna be horrific. It's gonna be horrible, man. It's gonna be like a living nightmare, man. Like, what was that movie that came? People were trying to get out. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be like that, man. Because these people, they're gonna run out of food, water, supplies, and they're gonna stop praying on each other. And all the men in the building know where they hot neighbor live. They ain't got no man. No man don't live there. All right? Because she's independent and solo.
I am woman.
All that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear you roar talking about stop.
What's your man name? Diego?
Yes, yeah, my man Diego. What he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do what I want. I said,
It's gonna happen, man.
right. But you can do what you want with me, but just don't hurt. He was like, oh no, bitch, shut up. Basically, I'm gonna do what I want. He said, all y'all got to worry about is who's gonna go first. So no, he was like, oh no, I'm gonna do what I want to you and your daughter. She offered herself up. She ready to sacrifice her body for his needs and pleasures. And he like, oh no, bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna have you, but I'm gonna have her too. He made that very clear. 'Cause he's like, I got all night.
And she would have got pregnant if that wasn't a movie. There you go. I like how you brought that shit.
Hey, but that's the reality of what's going to happen, man.
And we talking shit.
This society is on the verge of collapsing, and we're excited about it. All right? We actually are excited about it because it's really different to happen, man. All right, man, we just suffered through a lot of cold winters, hot ass summers, you know, dealing with nigga shit, you know. And God only knows what our elders have been through.
Come on, man.
If I can think about all the shit we've been through, they've been through a double, man. Triple. All right? So, yeah, this place is finally going to collapse, and it can actually start next week. It can literally start right. And I said what months ago? Then about four months ago that by around July 4th, because July 4th was the last big money game or something. You know, the blockbuster movies that come out. You always got your big blockbusters that release on July 4th, right? That's usually when Will Smith will drop an album or a movie. He always dropped it right on the July 4th. That dude was smart, man, when it came to being evil, making money. Right? He would always, because he only dealt with old #1 hits. That's because he was a garbage rapper. But it'd be that melody, because it'd be the old #1 hits. But nevertheless, with all the festivities and the fireworks and the movies that drop, July 4th is the last, so Esau gonna squeeze and get that last juice out of the lemon. Then he gonna let it. Then he gonna let it run after that. So it's very well. And this Roe v. Wade, man, this thing, and this going to show you how they're getting around the old laws the same way they run cases. Because you're supposed to have expedient trial. Ain't no case supposed to sit in the judge's queue for 2.5 years. All right, once the case gets put before the judge, it's supposed to get ruled. Hey, that bitch told me on a Monday. I had court on a Monday, and after she had that look of horror in her face, but after our conversation, and she had no answers against what my paperwork actually said. All right, she was like, she was literally stuttering. And she was like, well, I will have an answer and I will rule on give the ruling on your case by Friday. That was like 2 years ago. Right? So Esau is violating his own law. He's exposed. He's exposed. So he's getting to the point now where he's just like, fuck it. It's time. It's sword time. Let my strength. You know?
It's like the stock market. These hedge fund owners, they holding back the real numbers. So the people that's supposed to be getting paid, that's supposed to be getting paid millions of dollars, man. And they're holding back the funds because why? Because they don't have the money to pay these people.
Yeah.
That didn't let go of those stocks when hard times hit.
They already threatened all the last time you had bailouts. Now you're having bail-ins. So the banks are now taking the money of the people who have the money. So everybody who's got big money in the banks are hijacking their shit. This shit, I'm telling you, the debt is really about to go up. They're taking 401ks. They're taking away pensions. You're gonna have some APS, post-traumatic stress disorder, war veteran, police officer, fucking fireman, gonna go nuts on your ass, man. You know, and I think the fireman is more dangerous than a damn police officer. They know how to set fires and make sure that shit burn every damn thing. They know what's right. They know shit is. Exactly.
They know where the gas lines running.
Yeah, they know where to set the fire and do all kinds of shit, man. Like, it's like, look, man, I'm gonna bring down the whole block. Ain't gonna be shit left in this block, man. So you going pushing off all these people with all these skills, these motherfuckers who are snipers, you know, and strategic planners in the battlefield and all that shit.
They
You fucking with their money, man. You keep playing with these people. What that the character of Dennis Hopper in the Speed? Yeah. He was full of cops or shit. They took his pension and he was, yeah.
Life, man.
And he was forming demolitions in the military.
Oh,
He said all they gave me was a watch.
Hey, a man of war, and that's in the scripture. It said man of war and self-poverty. Here it is, you go rob, kill, steal, rape, and murder for your country, and you sleeping under a fucking bridge getting pissed on by your neighbor, man. That's a man of war and self-poverty. They showed you that in that movie with that nigga Tupac, too.
Yeah.
The brother was all retarded, cursing out his mom, all weird and shit. As soon as they killed his brother, that motherfucker slid down the side of the building. He got super booted. Cut that nigga Tupac fucking throat, hanging upside down. He was a fucking retard the whole time. But once that switch hit, and then everybody juiced up off this shit too, for their health benefits.
Yeah, I just saw a brother did a video talking about the medical emergency that's about to happen when all these people can't get their meds. You gotta have a whole bunch of angry people that can't drive their cars because they can't afford to. They can't pay their rent, they can't buy food, but also these people that can't get their meds. I'm telling you, this is about to be the purge out this bitch.
Right.
Right?
You mentioned the war veterans, man, or the people that was in the military. Hey, the war veterans that do get money from the military and from the government, they gotta go do evaluations every couple of years. And we want to see if we can steal your money from you to see if you don't act crazy. You know, you gotta go get reevaluated every 2 years. And if you don't pass the evaluation, say some narcissist, deviant doctor, which is that's all of them. You know, but say a black woman, you go to get reevaluated and it's a black woman. Like, thanks for saying I hate you. You know, you're not gonna get your repayment. She don't give a fuck about you.
She broke up with her boyfriend and she's committed adultery on this morning. It happened to see you.
And you look just like, man.
It's just like the video when the chick shot her baby father in the face and then pulled the baby out the backseat of the car. She mad that he with another woman. And guess who she got the gun from? from the dude she screwed, that she committed adultery with. But she mad that he with another woman. Right? Hey, this place is crazy, man. It's completely crazy.
It's upside
Right?
down, man.
It's completely upside down. And then what? And then this is the father of your child.
Just about the kids.
So the hell with his life. Now he got to grow up without a daddy because you.
Oh no! Look, they had the fucking this nigga. He had sheriff. He's like, these are the sips on Father's Day. But it's a nigga. He fixing the little girl, man. You already hate this. You seen it? He fixing the little girl. Fucking he come outside. The little girl got a flat on the bike or some shit. He fixing the bike. She said, "See, he fixing the bike. Happy Father's Day. Tell your dad thank you." She said, "This is not. This little bitch is like 4 years old." And she like, "This is not my daddy. My daddy's in jail, and I hate you." Fuck. She said, "My daddy's in jail, and I miss him, and I hate you. This ain't my damn daddy." This little bitch like
Right,
4
but
years
as
old.
you eat your food,
He
he
paid the
probably
bills.
he probably paid
Bought
the
the
bike
bike.
that you ride, fixing your flat.
Man, they degenerates, man.
This is going back to the
You know, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, man. It does not being a father in this society is really profitless, and being a stepfather is has to be double that, man.
Hey, Capo, what's my saying? And I've got 3 kids. What's my saying? Yeah, they better hope the same thing I hope. Your house I send your house I deliver. Go ahead.
This is land back up to brother. James 5:4. Behold, James 5:4. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept by fraud, trieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, man. So all the people who are going to put all their interest, all their money, all their savings into this place, all right, are not going to get the return on their investment, man. All right, people are more homelessness, more hunger, man, more people in despair. All right, and like the brother said, man, a lot of these are war veterans, man. Vietnam War, Korean War, Gulf War. You know what I'm saying?
And every time you look up to, when you looking at the crowds of people that walk by, you always see more women than men.
Yep.
There's more women in this society than there is men. And so when this shit, when the debt goes up, these women not gonna be safe, man. They're gonna be for a break.
That is right.
They're gonna be for a break. And a lot of these women are walking around alone.
All the time.
Half naked.
They half naked on why they doing it.
And don't care. Because they so blind, they really don't think
Because they really have genes in there.
Come on, man.
Because the problem is that these people, these Americans, all right, and these women, they have a very false sense of security that they're safe.
That's right.
All right? It's like living in certain neighborhoods where, you know, you've been hearing this a lot lately in the road, but this sort of thing never happens here. You know, all the people up in Andersonville and in Lincoln Park, this sort of thing never happens here. But guess what? It's happening there now.
That's right.
And it's going to get worse.
Hey, brother from the island sent me a video. One chicken is $85 fucking dollars for one whole chicken. Wait, let me find it.
Wow, that's incredible, man. And then I was talking to the brother Kuwalia, man. And just like in my neighborhood, you know, he up there on the edge of Chicago in Rogers Park. He on the edge of Chicago in Rogers Park. And basically what he was saying is that, you know, there's a lot of immigrants that are moving to that area. And they downplaying. And if you ever been up to the brother's house, even on this block, you got $500,000 homes on this block. You know?
Big ass house. Right.
They downplay the crimes. You know, so the shit that's happening up there, they're not even reporting that. They're not even reporting half the shit that happens up there, man. And it's the same thing in my neighborhood, man. Up there, you got all them old school Ambrose. You got some old school cops over there. Then you got vice lords and Latin kings. And they be going at it, man. You know? Oh, yeah. Hey, didn't that Edomite just warn that you're going to start seeing 25 pounds chicken? You know?
That's a whole chicken.
$50 a pound steak.
Bring close.
Right?
There you go.
Nigga, when the niggas good, this shit for y'all, Lord got us.
That's
And with that nigga go, he say, I ain't talking about the other guys.
Ezekiel 14:12. It says, the word of the Lord came against me, saying, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing previously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. Right? This land has trespassing, and they blaspheme. I tell you, the book of Revelation is where the Lord was crucified, man. There's no judgment.
See how it went all the way back? It's 40 now.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor.
And see, that's what's happening right now. When you see the northern and the southern kingdom out here in spiritual productivity and unison, standing on one accord, that's what spooks the white man. That the so-called, the self-proclaimed white man.
And we're in our royal mentality.
That's
Come on, man.
right.
We're in a royal mindset. No fucking smile. We're in the mindset where you will believe, right? And because you are.
That's
So
right.
it's good to say that we're above all people on the face of the earth. That's why you'll hear us say, he can't have them. Why? That means we claim them,
That's right.
right?
We ask
That's
the Lord for our
because
desires.
sometimes it's not because we want it. We just know he can't have it.
Exactly.
Hey, the Spirit make an intercession. It's gonna filter that out. You might claim it for a
I'm
brother,
claiming it for another brother, man. You know?
but he can't have it.
He can't have it. Right, you might get strikes just what makes you think you get
Remember on Django, he was frying his ass up.
And he better
Calling
whip
him boy.
and he better whip you right, he gonna get ripped too.
That's right.
Right? And will become an expert.
And they did it with us. You know, we go to Joel the third chapter and tell you how the Israelites and the Edomites are right the Hamites, right? And they showed you them at the beginning of the room. You put the intake.
Yep,
They had some
about
Hamites.
44th minute.
There we go.
It show you that Joel the third chapter, right? The original movie.
And they expected that. They didn't expect this.
It says, verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
But ultimately, that goes into the chariots of Yahweh, so-called UFOs. But this is exactly where it starts. Because this is all, look, they never look for us to do this. That evening scene of the roots, that 44th minute scene that we were talking about, that's when they thought this was it. Get to Revelation 11 and 8. This Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8, God just got another thing coming to you, motherfucker. I guarantee you that. The Lord said that. The Lord that nobody believes in said that. Go ahead.
This Revelation 11 and 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
That's talking about America. Sodom and Egypt are two different places, and the Lord died in Israel.
It's true.
All right.
Evidence of that was that scene in Good Times.
Oh.
Because he said if that was true, the Bible would have said so. And Michael was like, it does.
Right.
Right, exactly. He read the scripture. And then she read it herself. She was like, let me see that. She was like, oh my God, it does. But
Where the butt come from? That's that
so,
black woman
and
shit.
then what that meant was that, well, fuck what the Bible said.
Exactly.
Go literally what the white man said.
Exactly.
That's literally what it translation. That's what it was.
Then they got James the father off the show. See, that all us being that bullshit. And he physically older than me and spiritually, so he know. He sees it. You know, that was your generation.
Yeah.
You kicked his ass right out the fucking house. And they showed you that on that movie. Well, I think that nigga Lawrence Fishburne was on it. Cornbread Earl and me.
Yeah.
Where his mama, you know, had a setup. Dude was coming over there trying to get some pussy or whatnot. And then she he heard a nigga knock. He heard a nigga knocking at the door. He like, oh, you stepping out on me? Woo. She's like, no, that's the man. You gotta get out of here. I can't have you in here. They see that Esau's a damn. I wanted to drop the F-bomb. Esau really, man, showed you that he a bitch ass nigga, man. He's a really bitch ass nigga. But you know what? The Lord got it because we right here. We woke up.
Yeah, he set you up for failure.
Out the gate.
And like I said, Esau is the only people that I know, all right, that rigged the game, set you up for failure, and then brag about winning.
Right, you can tie this nigga hands behind his back. Yeah, you didn't even go in there. You threw Tyson in there, cut off the lights, stepped over him like this and shit.
Right.
Fucking pussy. You a
And
bitch,
stand over
man.
and take all the pictures.
All the pictures. Ain't an ounce of sweat on this bastard. Motherfucker.
Yeah, that's Esau.
Hold on, let him finish.
Bring it up.
Revelation 11 and 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half.
And that was the nation looking at us. And that go from the time with hardcore slavery to the time we woke up, to the late 60s, early 70s. That's that 3.5 year period. Go ahead. Go ahead, take your time.
It says, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. Verse 10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth.
And you niggas was the difference. All right, he said the northern kingdom on the other side of the world, and he brought you stupid ass niggas over here. You niggas was the gifts, but now it's over with. We were the gifts. The Lord even said our own king went to slavery.
Yeah, Seville Spain became the first slave capital of the world. And the people that were going to Seville Spain to be distributed all over the world was the Northern Kingdom. They were snatching up Gadites and Israelites and other members of the Northern Kingdom, and they were selling them out of Seville Spain. They were getting dispersed to Arabia, different parts of Africa, different parts of Europe. There was a movie that came out called Brotherhood of the Wolf. Every time I see that movie, it makes me think about Pinocchio. But there was this movie called Brotherhood of the Wolf that came out maybe about 10 years ago. And they had Martin Cosmos playing the Gadite. But why was the Gadite walking around in colonial France, you know, in the 1700s as an armor bearer to a hunter? And he was even the greater hunter. Right? Right.
Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Stop right there. This is what you see. When you see us, you see the brothers. You see the Northern Kingdom brothers. All right. You see the fruit on the other side of the line. That's what's going on. The breath of life entered into us, and these crackers are shaking in their boots. That's why that Malchaamah just up here punching the air like Cuba Gooding Jr. and fucking boys in the hood. Fucking what?
You know, this is Proverbs 26 and in 18, 19. It says, as a madman who catches 5 bands of arrows in death, so is the man that deceives his neighbor and says, am not I at sport, man. All right, so Esau's been going around thinking this is a game. All right, the fact that we don't know who we are. All right, he put some stereotypes out there that we unfortunately live up to, and being niggas. All right, and sit back and throw the book at us. All right, give us football numbers for playing. All right, there's nothing, man. All right.
No, I was thinking about that when the elder brought out his case. He said how long they taking the fuck around the trial. Said when they gave last 45 years in prison, they don't take that.
Nope.
But some shit you didn't do. That's all.
Yeah, because all he does is just
Yeah, when they're under the microscope, everything's slow motion, man. You know, turtle shit.
We go back to that joint.
How long do you think it take a turtle to walk 100 miles, man? Right?
Right.
But when it's your shit, man, and it's a rabbit in a 20-yard dash.
That nigga Richard Pryor said I went to jail They looked at the nigga. They said, hey, yeah, 40 years. What was that? But he was telling the truth. They didn't waste no time. They showed you that in that movie with what the fuck is that movie with Eddie Murphy?
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They had, it was one night. Esau got right with their ass, man. That's some shit they ain't do.
That was an expeditious try. Life, nigga.
Hey, but what did he do? Say they took it down his money. He said, we got 40 good years out of these motherfuckers, man. Like it's a goddamn game, man.
well, because that free and that cheap labor, you know, and you have to think about it. You know, Columbo used to say, follow the money. All right, who benefits off these unrighteous decrees? He never did bring that out. I mean, off this he that makes mystery by law. But who makes money off you know, the cheap and free labor provided by inmates? So it's to their best interest to give you as much time as they can and lock you up for the littlest things that they do. They have to keep bodies in themselves to please their stockholders, man.
They'll be 90%
All right?
full.
You know, we've all heard about the meeting that was held in the early 1990s about the rap game. They're like, look, hey, this is your lyrics, man. All that conscious rap shit got thrown out the window. All right? You can't be rapping about Abraham being a black man and all that shit. You know, all right. You know, you can't be rapping about that. You need to be like,
If you squeeze a genitalia at every chance, then you carry gun. You degrade your women. He said, you got to
right. Because exactly, they were making fun of it. But the sad thing is that that's true. The more negative and the more grimy it is, the more they're going to make money off it. They're going to point it out, so it's going to ruin the use as evidence. All you have to do is take the cat and walk about 50 feet. And you can see how ruined our people are. Right? The niggas is right around the corner where the brothers usually teach.
Oh,
right?
yeah, they did.
Okay?
And also too, like the other one, back in the day, they had a fucking west. Go back to what it felt like. If you rappers that
They were rolling up on each other in the streets and shooting each other. You know, especially these Chicago rappers, man. Why you a rapper or gangster? You know, which one are you? You know? Right.
And tell on themselves when they
Okay.
the song.
So-
I shot this nigga around the floor.
Oh, yeah.
It was right there.
Okay, Gangsta Licious. Right. So Gangsta Licious got escorted off the stage. His dumb ass. Right.
That dog and love.
What he say? So he hit it with the Hennessy. The police came and walked his dumb ass off the stage. So, right, but real quick, that Isaiah 42 and that mystery by law.
And we think this shit funny for real, because the scriptures say with a stammering lips and another tongue shall speak to this people, and the stammering lips goes into mocking you stupid ass niggas. Why you think we just talking that shit about the black niggas? You niggas ain't shit. Fuck y'all. We think it's funny.
This Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Yeah, people robbed and spoiled now. There's been all sorts of evidence. They even made a movie about how cocaine was getting dropped off into the so-called black neighborhoods, man. All right, in the early 80s, man. Right, and doing the crack epidemic. And what else? You know, they're not doing it so much today like they used to with the dropping off of the guns because of these. All right, but almost in every neighborhood in America, all right, you know, from New York to Chicago to Philly, all right, everybody got stories. All the old schools got stories when the guns were dropped off in the alleys. Everybody seen it, man. Okay? Yeah, except for Fox and CNN. Somehow they cameras was pointed on something else. All right? Go ahead, brother.
It said they are all of them snared in holes.
Why? Because of all those unrighteous decrees. And then you took cocaine, a white male driving a semi truck that has 50 tons of cocaine in it. All right, he gets 2 years of probation, where a 15, 16, 17-year-old Jake gets adult charges and gets 5 years for each rock in his hand.
Yep.
All right, so he got a 20-year bid, you know, at 16, 17 years old. All right, just for rocks that from a drug that you created in a lab that you dropped off in this neighborhood. And there's evidence of it. And some of these guys are still in jail, man. And they haven't been compensated. Their families haven't been compensated.
That nigga agent, Freeway Ricky Ross, he said it. He said, man, the scientists, they figured out how to put this shit up like that. And they taught it to Jake, and Jake went crazy with that shit, man. You know? But that's Esau for it. They made a show about it called Snowfall, man.
Yeah.
And it takes place during that time, man. You saw it went from marijuana to cocaine to, you know, yeah. Hey, man, and now the shit they got now, man, it's bugged out. They got some shit called pink cocaine, which it's not
Yeah, I've
even
been hearing
cocaine.
about that.
Out
And
there
how
in
Issachar
Colombia.
been losing their mind with this shit.
Yeah, that shit is, it's a
You know,
completely
Issachar
synthetic
love doing
drug.
coke and shit too.
Yeah. It's like ecstasy with meth, with opioid.
So bitches are taking this
Right.
shit, they get done by 15 dudes and shit like that.
Yep. Like it's not even natural anymore. You know, the cocaine, it comes
At
from
least it was coke leaf.
Right. This shit is all synthetic now, man. And it's pink. And it's driving people fucking nuts, man.
So now it's all out of salt. Because I know the North Kingdom is big into this pink shit. So I guess they the target now because their numbers grew too much. Go ahead, brother.
It said, and they are hid in prison houses.
Yep. So that Amalekite that came by with his daughter, he and his people are not hid in prison houses, man. They don't fake Jews hid in prison houses. As a matter of fact, most of them are the stockholders.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of jail. I ain't never seen a kite. Nigga in the dreidel. They coming in the tower room, they dreidel on. They little hat, coming in there with the fucking, whatever.
All gangster with his Zeke seats and his pants
Yeah.
sack.
But I ain't 30 deep in the back playing cards, you know, with the curly fries on the side of the head.
But now show with other men.
Gone. So they don't fit the bill, man. Great Wood got that bitch signed mission. I got it, bro.
This is Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? You want to keep reading on it?
Yeah. Actually, that's the point. That's the point, man. They frame the mischief by law, man. They make laws that are mischievous and laws that are, that completely set you up. It's just like how Esau has a doctrine of ducking God, I like to call it. Because all the evidence is that are right. Because of Esau's boxing, he fought Mayday, man. You can never hit him, man. Right? Because everything all the evidences that are brought against him, he has a countermeasure. He's going to call it conspiracy. He's going to call it disinformation, or he's going to news speech it, or he's going to change the definition, or he's going to omit the definition. So they find you. So you got books and writings that was written by his people. They're gonna rewrite that book. They're gonna change that definition.
I wanted to make a point in the scriptures when when we was dealing with the captivity and like Esther or Daniel or something like that, it'll bring it out. Once it's sealed by the law, by the king's signet, that's the law.
That's it.
Now see what Esau little soft ass to do is make an amendment to bend his law and not break it.
That's
Just
why it's
wanted
called
to
an amendment.
understand.
Right.
Men mean the same.
But in the ancient world, it wasn't none of that shit.
Right.
It was this law was this law was that.
Matter of fact, look, somebody get that word amendment. Look it up.
Yeah.
Soft ass nigga.
I think it was Cyrus or something. He was salty, but he had to do the Daniel.
Yeah.
Because it was in the king's seal. He was like, damn.
But them niggas snaked them, man. They try to make that See, they tried that, and that's what Esau do today, even though that wasn't Esau. They had to make that decree, get the people to decree because they knew what Daniel was doing. They said, oh, we should go behind his back. And that shows you, that's a very good story. That shows you that, how about you got your back? How about you got your back?
That's right.
Straight up.
That's right.
Back is got it.
It's over with, man. So they try to protect him. But, like everybody said, it made him feel bad, man.
Right. Cyrus knew that shit was bullshit. But he said what? He had to file the decree.
This was the decree. It was sealed with the king's signature. That's what's the seal is sealed. But America don't play like that. But that shows you, even though those is heathen nations, you know we don't show you the laws as you can see how much we got to try. It's my man, like bullshit. Yeah. But in the other nations, even was more honorable than that.
Yeah,
That's right.
Esau will make this law when it no longer benefits you. Matter of fact, we should get a couple different parts. You got to bring about
It's an amendment in the etymology, online etymology dictionary. Now, early 13th century, betterly, improvement. I'm only doing at the bottom. Since expanded to include correction of error in a legal process.
So, oh shit, that no longer works. That was an error.
Right. Right.
So we need to change that.
They buffer it.
Right.
1690s, it says to remove its faults.
Wow. So this is grievous for us to enforce now. It was okay at the time. It's grievous now. So we're just gonna change it.
When it affects your life, your stability, your money, and that 40, 50 years we took from your ass, so that 20, 60, 80 years we had your ass on fucking child support and alimony, you know, it was fine. Then, wait a minute, fuck everything that happened to you. We find flaws into it now. Let us iron out the truth.
Right.
You is the goddamn devil, man.
Right, brother.
Ain't no law in this land. It's unrighteous decrees. According to Isaiah 10 and 1.
That's right.
That's why I came there. You got it? Read, please.
Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
That's grievousness, man. This is a land of lawlessness. That's why when King David prophesied, he said, yea, those I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, even King David was talking about this place, man. He was chilling. I mean, he had war amongst his enemies, but that's really about it. That's why Job said, yea, and he was a rich, prosperous man, and it showed me that the Lord ended his life bountifully. But what did he say? I walk in a land where darkness as is light. They was talking about this fucking place, man. What a basis man pursuing a Daniel 4:17, man, is ruling, man. The so-called white man.
And he's a man of crafty counsel, and he's a man of veils and covering cast.
He the Wizard of Oz,
You know what
huh?
I'm saying? Like the elder was talking about how he will make you believe a wicked thing is okay. What is his doctrine, his lies, man. He'll actually have you thinking like, yeah, it's okay to do that. White man said we can do it. And then when something by the time somebody get to you and tell
They got a
you,
new word. Go ahead. You made me think about something.
by the time somebody get to you and tell you, no, that's been wrong all from the beginning, you can't tell them shit.
Oh, Salaki. You know what's the big part? Especially if he look like you. If his skin color like yours, if he look like your father you hate, or your brother you hate, especially if he look like you. The white man didn't say that. Why do you think they come up here and talk so much shit to us? Why they talk so much shit to our apostles, our elders, younger brothers that's waking up and, you know, telling them shit? Because they look like them, man. But they'll look at us and say, we hate ourselves. Like, fuck you niggas. Every single one of them. Every single nigga outside of the elect, I pray they die a vicious, horrible death, man.
They be so slow, man. That nigga didn't cast a slow. And you know, a stubborn nigga, you can't cast a slow. You know? And the Lord gotta have a journey for you. First of all, you gotta be the elect. You gotta be the elect.
That's supposed to end last of all.
You know? But, you know, you gotta have a spirit of humility. You know? To be able to see this. You know? People don't have that. People sort of gave them the way to take it, and they was gone away from everything. Then them that there's controversy about what you're doing, and they'll say, yo, they'll have to read it, and then they'll make an excuse. That's what the scripture says. A single man for not being included finds an excuse according to what exactly according to law. You know what I'm saying? But you can't tell that nigga shit, man. And then only thing you can really do is wait for that nigga to die, man. Right? You know? A lot of these people, they're gonna inherit that.
Especially the black one. I stop trying to say it.
Right.
Like the first thing is dead, damn sure they gonna be the last.
Right.
You know, but
Because you niggas, you can't take you into the kingdom, man. You just found the kingdom. You gotta come in from birth, man. You gotta be reborn and retaught everything, man. We can't have a week of this wicked system and going into where we're going, man. That's why the Lord is gonna bring so much death. Because if a lot of you are taken, you're taken by this fucking place, man. This place is in there. Hey, I'm walking around and I just look at these people and I'm like, what the finish? These people are so fucking finished. They're a waste of fucking air breathers, man.
Maps. Found it. So look, I was trying to remember the saying. That was it. Number 6 right here. It's called maps. I'm trying to pull it back up, man. It's not the fucking saying. It was all perfect. There we go. It's called maps. It's hold on. Oh, there we go. Minor attractive people.
Oh yeah.
It's called maps now. So to get around, because the word pedophile is just too harsh. Alright, so now it's called maps. Minor attractive people. They're actually putting the legislation together to normalize it.
Right.
Alright?
Right.
They call it maps.
That's the slippery slope of the confusion. Because if you can have a
This shit by law.
transgender, you can have a trans age. So, like Murphy always say, he can be a fucking 52-year-old man walking around in a fucking diaper because he identifies as a 3-year-old toddler girl. So, right. So since he identifies as that, you gotta respect his pronouns. So now he can congregate, all right, with your children now, man.
oh, wait a minute, like you said, let me walk my stupid ass up and chase and identify as a millionaire.
Let me identify as a Caucasian billionaire.
Let's go get the garbage bags right now, because I'm taking the whole
What the fuck
gap.
you mean, man?
We coming to that bitch.
Right. Talking about trans age.
They
not
gonna lock
trans
your stupid ass up and say you're trying to rob it. They gonna hit that bell on your stupid ass. That silent bell.
Yeah.
All y'all niggas identify as millionaires.
I identify as a multimillionaire.
Right.
I need to make a
Hold your shit up in there.
Right.
the president of the United States so I can make some righteous law. Right. She gonna ring that fucking bell. Some big ass linebacker black woman with a 4.5 gonna run up. Oh, your motherfucking ass. Some big ass boots,
White
man.
team will roll in and everything.
Yeah. And that show you the confusion in this place, man. That shit is dumb as fuck, man.
This happened to me for the first time in life, man. I was at work the other day and I just come in, I just greet everyone. And I said, what's up, dude, to this person. But I was just saying, hey, what's up, dude? Like, they spoke to me. And this person replied to me and said, my pronouns are she and her. And it messed me up. Because in my head, I'm like, damn. Like, first, I didn't even know that this was a dude. But I just was saying, what's up, dude? Because I'm like, this is kind of tall. But I'm like, what's up, dude? And this person replied and said, my pronouns are she and her. I didn't hear him at first. I'm like, huh? He's like, my pronouns are she and her. And I was like, all right. And I was like, damn. Like, it happened to me for the first time.
It's weird, man.
Perfect example if he can't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you already said, he already done.
Yeah, Jim boy got it. Look, he's switching hard to the bitch, man. I hate to point that out to you, gentlemen, but good lord. It is talking about that.
That's the new thing now. I've noticed.
It's her shit.
I'm noticing the short shorts and the cowboy boots for the snow.
Yeah,
That's
man.
their thing now.
Yeah, man, they setting up them black.com like scenarios, you know. All they missing is the nigga. Hey, what you say? Set that today? Trying to check their search engine, man.
Yeah, I hate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, the little chick in Thailand, first thing on her mind was BBC.
You remember the
And then the next one said Chocolate Man.
Yes!
That's why you gotta get the drugs.
That nigga looking like M. Bison coming through on the asshole.
And one of them just grabbed his jaw.
Yeah, yeah.
He better have. Yeah, I'm the real producer, man. Come on, what Ludacris said, I was bang nose and bang top. Yeah, he fake though.
If he pop up, he might be mine.
So we need to do this pan real quick. If the niggas are gonna stop going
Let's
to
go over there inside of Bill Cap, man. Yeah, brother, I'm going to see the brother in Thailand. Ain't no brother. I'm going to see that boy brother in Thailand. Call that, yeah, man. You know, you tell me, brother, man. I think it was the spirit that the Lord put me over here, brother. I think it was the spirit of my garment just got a little rice in his hands, little as hell, making the garment smiling. Yeah, man. But that's how you know we gods, man.
Right.
And sometimes we gotta laugh.
Like Apostle Paul said,
Because we angry and we anxious, man. Alright? We're anxious. Alright? You know how when you get ready, you know when your dog hits the sound of the dog food?
Yeah.
They hear the food rambling
That
within the
rubber.
bowl, they start salivating. That's how close the kingdom is, man.
Right.
We gotta, try to keep from exactly.
Salvating.
We're salivating. Exactly.
salivate for salvation. Come on,
Exactly.
man, take
Hey, that's good. That's a good saying.
You can have it.
We're salivating for salvation, brother. You're absolutely right. Right? Because we can see it, we can smell it, we can taste it, man. It's so close. And like I said, we're the only people that's looking forward for all hell to break loose. So that Yahweh Shah can come back and do his thing, man.
That's right.
We want to see Yahweh Shah do the ultimate God war dance over here.
Come on, man.
All right?
Right, wash our feet, the blood of the wicked.
Hey, he gonna do the war dance. I told you, I can't crip walk, man, but I'm gonna do the coldest crip walk in the history.
But the Lord know how to spirit on you.
All right? They be like, is that nigga floating? Like, how the hell is he? Right. Right.
But take me there, see.
Right. He'll be like, this nigga is floating.
That dub see that nigga dub see, man. And they feel that, man, but that's why we read it earlier.
That's
It's
why
right
somebody
about
gets that. Wash
salvation.
your blood. Wash your blood. Right. Hey, this Bible is full of dark sins, lamentations, and hope. All right, and a lot of that dark sins, those dark sins are hope for the elect. This ain't hope for nobody else.
That's right.
Nobody else is looking forward to Luke 19:27.
That's right.
Okay, nobody. Who else is looking forward to Ezekiel 25, 12 through 14?
Not
Somebody
the
should be
Christian
grabbing the scriptures, is what I'm saying. All right.
Get the little bit of Ezekiel.
This is Psalms 58 and 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked,
That's right.
so that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous.
So the Lord is going to reward the righteous by letting them wash their feet in the blood of the Lord.
That means
Right?
brothers who
Somebody
need to
get
get
gas their
destroyed.
little ones against the storm. Somebody get spoil their houses and ravish their wives. Get them break, man.
That's good.
When we go from hunters from fishermen to hunters, man. Bring them out.
This is Psalms 137, and I'm gonna start at 7. Remember, oh Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the children of Edom.
And this is a scripture you will never hear in church. They won't bring this out.
It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, racing, racing, even to the foundation there.
Yeah, they were cheering, and you know they were all off beat.
Oh, God.
You know, they couldn't even cheer in unison. All right? Right, they clapping off beat, they cheering off beat, right.
O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed.
So that's how you know Babylon and this Babylon hasn't been destroyed yet. Right?
Happy shall he.
And then there's a scripture that places Esau in Babylon. that hasn't been destroyed yet. All right? That's another thing. You found, when we were talking about Esau earlier, once you discovered them, then they said they're not Esau. But then, and then when you bring in the evidence that they are Esau, then they came with the representation that Esau's been done away with already, so they can't be us. I'm like, damn, you motherfuckers is like Houdini.
Hey, on the other side of that, what they would do is, because you can see that bullshit ass shit coming from a mile away. What they do is they hire these simple ass niggas in other camps to teach that Japanese the white man, that Arab's the white man. See, but we ain't ignorant of the Satan's devices, man.
It says, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Right. That's right. That whole Japanese the white man is a retarded, saying, because even if the Russians were Japhet, like these people ignorantly saying it, the world is not under the vibration of Russia. All right? His tongue does not. The Russian tongue doesn't go through the ends of the earth, man. All right? The world is under the vibration of America.
Hey, if the world...
Everybody wants to try and eat a hamburger and a hot dog.
With bacon.
Now with bacon.
With triple bacon. Fucking bacon. Hey, if the world was under the Russian vibration... Like
it would be manly.
I was just going to say,
if that was the case,
wouldn't be happening.
This parade would not be happening. The world is not under that vibration.
They'll be getting the shit slapped out.
And anybody teaching that doctrine, as a matter of fact, Russians put them to death, man.
Yeah.
All right? That's what they do over there. They don't play that shit. The guys like that still got to be in the closet.
Right. It was for Ishmael the same thing.
Same thing.
About the white man,
right? Because Ishmael,
crazy?
right? Because Ishmael, the ones that are like that come over here.
Exactly.
All right? Because they don't play that shit over there.
It says, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
So let me paint the picture. You grab the baby by his feet, and you swing it like a shot ditch, and you turn around, put their head into the wall, and explodes like a runner. That's what it's talking about. And why? Because they did it to us. That's a recompense. Right? Their history books, they were doing it to the Northern Kingdom. All throughout South America. They were conquering, man. Right? They were throwing the babies in the air and catching them on their pikes. They were throwing them in the air and catching them on their swords, man. Alright? That's what they were doing to us. And if you think that the Lord is not going to recompense for that, then you've been listening to T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar for far too long, man.
They believe that you reap what you sow until it comes to them.
They could always take a so-called white man to the devil. It's
Right,
that same spirit.
Masters, we sick.
No, he's sick. You okay? That's how Zon Jake was even during the time of slavery.
We sick.
Bring out that next scripture. Keep rolling. Yeah, Isaiah 25. All the ones I mentioned. Ezekiel, yeah. This is fact, and then what was that? Isaiah 30.
I got the Jeremiah 16.
Isaiah 14 and 1 and 2.
I got it right up.
Come on, let's go.
Clip it slowly, let it ride.
This is Ezekiel 25 and 14.
Right?
And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
See, the Lord is all about vengeance, and He's going to get vengeance on that people who has been deemed wicked according to the Bible. See, it's not just, oh, you're a bad man. No, there's actually a people that He created to be the wicked. So they're here on earth, and they're the rulers of this present current wicked kingdom that we live in. Read.
By the hand of my people Israel.
Right?
And they shall do in Edom according to my anger.
So when people say that when the Lord say vengeance is mine, you're right, it is. But He just said He's going to also get it by the hand of His people, Israel, which happen to be Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Who's doing the work?
And they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury.
So we can't get mad at them, all right? Because we just read the scripture about that, and all right? I can't stand Edomites, but I don't have the mentality to go grab a baby by the feet and dash it against the stone. Though they did.
The Lord put the Spirit on us.
All right, they wrote it in books. They
He's
bragged
gonna do it to
about
us.
All right, but the Lord said when that day comes, he's gonna put that kind of anger. Go ahead. He's gonna put his anger. Why? And you know why? Because we're gonna get our memories back. You see, we're gonna remember everything that we went through, that our people went through. You know? Go ahead.
It says, and they shall know my vengeance, says Yahweh Founder.
Right, then they're gonna know the vengeance of the Lord.
Right.
And he said he's gonna use his men to do it. Right? Next one.
This is Jeremiah 16 and verse 16.
Right?
It says, behold, I will send for many fishers, said Yahweh.
And that's us now. We're fishing. We're fishing for the elect. Right? We're fishing for the Lord, for the elect of our people. Not all of our people. The scripture clearly says that 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die. There is no getting around that. We were just talking about the law, the decree of the king. You can't change that. 2/3. So that means for every 3 of us, 2 is going to die. All right? So 2/3 of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are on the soil and here in America are going to die upon the return of the Lord. Man, that was nothing that anybody can do about it.
Right.
All right, so you guys out there teaching all Israel and bringing our people together, you are never going to bring our people together. If you gather 10 of our people together right now and ask in the name of the Lord, you're going to get 10 different answers. If you ask them what they are, they're going to tell you, they're going to give you colors. They're going to tell you that, and then they're going to tell you I'm black. Nigga, you brown. Your skin is brown, so where the black at? Read.
Completely black. Jeremiah 16 and 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said Yahweh, and they shall fish them.
And that's what we're doing now. We're fishing. But what?
And after that, so like and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the
And
rocks.
the Lord will make us predators out here. All right? He's going to give us that spiritual power. He tells you that our body shall be changed in an instant. We're going to be in league with the stones. All right? When he tells you, somebody grab Isaiah 40 and 30 real quick. All right? We're going to be able to do things that other human beings will not be able to. Basically, that's where they get all these superhero movies from.
Yep.
Right out the scriptures, the X-Men, even the Hebrew letter top is the same letter X that they use for the X-Men. Well, you know what? The men on this side are going to be the X-Men. They're going to be operating under the authority of the Lord with those powers.
According to the Holy
And it's
Bible.
not until that happens that our people are going to actually get them.
That's right.
That's when our women are actually going to submit, not before then. That was enough. You see what I mean? They're not going to submit
black
until that
demon.
time.
That
You know,
demon,
They won't.
the mother of all,
They're not going to submit to the word
the mother of 3 highlights in that crib.
That time.
Elder, that was perfect, man. That. Look, man.
That S word is hate speech.
Go ahead.
That S word is hate speech.
She walked completely up. You brothers better leave that black bitch alone. Because even though you might not deal with a lady that look like that or that age, she raised little girls, bro. That's 30, that's 25. Leave a fucking black woman alone. What else you want the Lord to tell you and show?
It's a never-ending cycle with that. The scripture says, as is the mother, so is the daughter. So it's just a never-ending cycle of porno amongst our
So, like I said, our women are never going to get in line and be submissive. The scriptures clearly say, he that giveth for the wife, you get it for possession. All right? And none of these women are going to fully submit until that time. All right? Include the ones walking around with their hands wrapped, talking about shalom,
Them
brother.
the worst ones. Them the worst ones. The bitch keeps talking that, well, I don't deal with Jake women anyway, so it don't matter to me. But
Well,
I used to tell
according to the
brothers,
scriptures, hey, we don't need our women to bring back our race.
ooh.
I mean, that's just it. They look, the nigga and the sticker woman that's gonna get out of here are only getting out of here because of the promise that God made to Abraham. He made a promise to Abraham that his seed, and since they just happen to be the seed of Israel, that's the only reason why the majority of them are gonna get out of here. And the fact that they're gonna be saved in childbearing.
And that's the spirit. That's what you said according to the law of the Lord.
Right?
It's no bending that. And see, look what they trying to
It's
do.
like,
They trying to fight to
well,
kill.
she is Abraham's daughter, so come on.
Come on. Come on, bitch.
All right, but you will shut the fuck up from this point on. Come on.
She
And that's
never-
it. Please. Right. And so women like her, not until that day.
You see how that turned out.
Yeah, she was extra stage left in that movie.
Right. You would thought dude was directing the bitch.
Right. Yeah, he performed.
He hit that shit. He might see the white woman. He might be showing up.
That nigga making $25 an hour.
But yeah, man, if that show you all women out of line, here it is. And see, that's why it's the spirit. Because when she first came out, the elder brought out that three
Thirds. I brought it all up for her.
It was
Right? It was really for her. And the spirit identified exactly what I assumed.
You
I didn't
just
know. I assumed it, and it revealed to me what I assumed. But let's continue. No, we haven't even started yet. Go back up. Yeah, when it says that you should follow the documents and follow the ways. 31, okay.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew.
Oh yeah, start at 30 again.
this man is on his way.
Yeah, let me get.
Yeah, stop doing scared. I know my shoulders big. Do what it's good. Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 40 and 30. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall.
Yeah, so they're young, they're most powerful. It's gonna, they're gonna fall.
But they that wait upon the Lord
Yep.
shall renew their strength.
That's right.
They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary.
All right, so let me paint a picture. That light post is what, on 3 stories? That's like a 3-story building?
Yeah.
If you're on the 3rd floor apartment, you'd be almost looking at that light, right?
Yeah.
All right, so when you sitting up there and you sitting up on top of that, perched up on there like a damn eagle, and ain't nobody even looked up there. These niggas run around panicking and shit. And you just swoop down and grab one of them and fly them up and land in that pole and let his ass go. Right, burn his ass. All right, exactly.
They did that for us. You're
Okay.
Lord willing.
How do you think you got up there? You mounted up like when you flew up there. Right? You're sitting up on that damn perch on one of them balconies. You didn't get up there from, well, you up on the roof.
Yeah.
All right? Help the person with that roof. But all the madness is going on in the street, and you see a victim. All right? You up there like a bird of prey. And you see somebody you decide you're gonna have your way with, you know, you're gonna swoop down, grab, fly out to the top of the roof, have your way with it, and then reintroduce as to gravity.
What?
Let's see if you can fly too. Oh shit, well, sorry.
That shit gonna be like the Looney Tunes cartoon. We whoop and realize we got.
Right. Go ahead, brother.
They shall walk and not faint.
You're gonna walk and not faint, man. You're gonna be able to run and walk and not faint, man. All right? Just for the hell of it, man. We're gonna just run and clean.
Let's go.
Right.
I like that scripture. It says,
And run back.
Oh man,
it said we
flames.
shall renew the
Like,
strength.
yeah,
there.
they said like sparks in the fire, man. That's literally talking about the flash, man.
That's right.
Like you said, you're not gonna be able to believe, man. Your eyes are not gonna believe what you see. All right? Fiction, reality is stranger than fiction, man. All of them gonna be concubines.
That's right.
Walking
You can
around
back on
freely.
that, man.
We're gonna all be concubines.
Spoiled.
Right.
But guess what? They're gonna get spoiled horribly on this side. They make
What?
Just can't none of them. You can claim them, but they can't go on the damn chariot with you.
Right.
Right, they get right. Say, look, baby, if you here in Babylon when that day comes, ain't nothing I can do.
Right. And they all going to the
Right.
fucking rainbow convention.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
So it's important.
To celebrate counterproductivity and immorality.
Let's go.
Right?
It is
Bring it out.
Zechariah 14, verse 1.
Let's go.
It said, Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thou spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. And I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the house ravished, wrath, and the women ravished, and the half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
Damn. That reminds me of one of them episodes, one of them biking movies I was watching. The dude was walking through with a woman, and then the one biker looked up and asked the dude and said, "Hey, why is this woman not on her back?" Basically, all the women was getting seated up.
Yeah.
They were breeding out the enemy. Right. So when he saw her walking around, he like, why this woman not on her back? Right. So she's supposed to be getting bold with the rest of them.
Wrong.
With the ball bike bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, why did they do it? Yeah, she was talking about how some dudes put her in slavery. Because he was asking how did she get to Scandinavia.
Right.
Well, she was Chinese, he never seen a Chinese person. And she said they had got him, they sold her, she was an emperor daughter. And he said, did they, use the R word?
Exactly.
YouTube. He said, why didn't they? Nigga sipping that liquor, why they didn't speak?
Right.
And that
Basically, he was saying that he was like, good, I'm glad they did it. Because now I'm
Yeah, he got straight to business. And then, the so-called white man is soft, right? Because here it is, you walking with your so-called girlfriend, according to you, she definitely ain't telling nobody that outside of your dumb ass. You got the billfold out. But you really think it's your girlfriend and you walking with her to a fucking poker thing.
Right.
But you want to tell me how to live my life. Man, fuck the white man. He's a man. He gonna hold her hand to a fucking poker thing.
Yeah, you have a baby with this bitch, she be mad, she can't kill it.
Exactly.
Roe v. Wade.
Like, why, how does any of this shit make sense to you niggas, man? Why do you want to be here? Who the fuck wants to live here, man? That's some madness,
This
man.
is Zechariah 9 and 12. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto you. When I have bitten Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of the mighty man. Because what the Lord is going to do is alright? I think it's an apocryphal. He's going to use the preacher with the son. Right. He's going to man the Lord. When we get, just like King David. When King David, when the Spirit of the Lord came in, the powers he got down, man. He's been over walls, not just little walls. Look at the wall in China, how it's like fucking like 9 and 10 stories, man. Leaping over it.
Everything was bigger. The measurements we read about a cubit or things of that. A man's arm was even a different size. So those measurements, we really can just think about it as bigger than what it says it is, because that's just what it is, man. Look at Samson, man. Mighty man. We gonna get that power, man. Samson pulled us down and killed more motherfuckers than he did in this whole life at one time. And this is a man in just one scrap. He slayed 1,000 men with the jawbone and the ass, man. Like, the Lord is really going to put the spirit on us to tell you how to fuck. And I can't fucking wait. I can't wait, bro. Right, all the David's mighty men, the mighty men of the Lord, man. Come on, man. Abraham went down to what? The slaughter of the kings. With his trained men that he trained.
Yeah, they don't have any idea. Because look, in this society has painted a picture of the men of the Lord being soft, and they weren't. You gotta remember, man, when they came for the Lord, Peter up his sword. And with excellent swordsmanship, hey, look, man, he cut only his ear off. You know what type of skill that takes to pull out a sword and then it didn't go into his collarbone. He didn't crush or break his collarbone. He started squirting and dying. He cut only his ear off. All right, that's how you know he David, right? That's gonna go there in suit, right?
Oh, yeah, that was fine.
And then the Lord told him to put his sword up because it wasn't time for that thing. Now that time is close now. Right? It's not yet, but it's close now. Alright?
And Yahushua, that same moment when they came to get him, Yahushua sent all the soldiers back.
He pushed him back.
Pushed him back with
Some Magneto shit. Right? He pushed him back with force. Right? So he basically, like in Star Wars, he literally used the force, man, to push them all back.
Hey.
Right? You gotta think about it, man. A crowd of men, soldiers, armed soldiers come. He just hit back and they all fall back.
And that's another thing.
And basically, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna paint a picture. Extrapolation. He let them know that right? Because what did he say? Can I not call down a legion of angels and wipe this place out? So he gave himself up for these people. All right, he left them. He just let them know this is gonna be my last thing, right? Right? He smacked them up with the force. Yeah, he damn, you know, bring it out, brother.
It's the book of John 18.
Darth Vader did.
The book of John 18 and verse 4. Yahweh Shai, therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, whom seek ye?
Right. Who you looking for? Go ahead.
Then answered him, Yahweh Shai of Nazareth. Yahweh Shai said unto them, I am he. And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground.
Right, so he made them all fall, man. As soon as he said it, he made he blasted them back, man, with them. Hey, and the scripture said we're gonna be able to do the things he did and greater. You understand? He said we get ready to do the things that, so we don't care if you don't respect us now.
Elijah thought down fire to heaven.
You will.
You know, when they be mocking the Lord in so-called churches.
Yeah.
You know, they put their hands on
yeah.
fall back and all that. You know, waving their hey man, the Lord is not mocked. Y'all keep doing this, man. Hey, y'all, you know what it is.
Let them do it. You know what?
I'm telling you all the time.
I give thanks for people like that because that makes our chances that much better, right? So we need people to be going off and doing all that wickedness. So that we're not counting them on the 2/3. I ain't trying to be no 230. Right? The damn 2 turds, right? Because that's what the rest of Israel is to me. They're a bunch of turds, man. All right? Go ahead, bring it out. Finish it.
Jeremiah 51 and verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nation.
The battle axe. You ever seen the battle axe? You ever seen the tomahawk? Go ahead.
And with thee will I destroy kings. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider.
Right, that's talking about their armaments. All them armored vehicles and stuff. None of that's going to help them. Right, when they rolling up with them MRAPs and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You gonna push nigga down MRAP like Leonidas. Right? Right? And break that bitch in two, man. Push kick the engine back up into the compartment and crush and kill everybody. Everybody in there, the engine gonna fly back up into the vehicle, destroy them. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, you remember that scene in the Hulk where he bent the tank barrel back towards the tank operator? He bent the whole barrel towards him.
Oh, the one when he was in New York fighting the Abomination, and he turned the taxi car into MMA club.
Oh my God!
He wrapped the damn car around his fist, man. Hey, it's gonna get real out here, boy.
I want to make a quick point that I was thinking. In the spirit, when you had y'all had made that comment about how Yahweh Shai used to do it. Now, we all know that Yahweh Shai is King Solomon. Another one that's gonna go over y'all heads. But King Solomon's first name was Jedi. Jedediah.
There it is, man.
I'm gonna just get the scripture and prove it real quick.
Like I said, he gonna Darth Vader y'all.
There you go.
You know how Darth Vader's choking people from across the room? They displease him and niggas start floating and be choking.
And they had a Jake Blair. Good voice.
You know?
Yep. It says,
People say, hey, Darth Vader that dude, man.
yeah.
But go ahead, brother.
It's 2 Samuel 12 and 1. It says that Yahweh sent Nathan to David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there were 2 men in one city. No, Salaki, I'm going to the front. Salaki. It's down where I got it. This is This is 2 Samuel 12 and 24. It said, and David comforted Bathsheba, his wife, and went in unto her and lay with her. And she bare a son. She didn't get an abortion. And she called her, and he called his name Solomon. And Yahweh loves him. And he sent by the hand of Nathan the prophet. And he called his name Jedediah because of the Lord. And it means that name literally means it's just Jedi. That's where they get Jedi from. It means God knows.
Right. There it is, man. Real 15 and 51, and it reads, "Behold, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye," so that's like when you blink, right? And you know how fast you blink, right? It says, "In a moment, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all we shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible." All right? I thought the dead was in hell and heaven. That destroys that doctrine. That destroys that doctrine. All right? And we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and the mortal must put on immortality. All right? So what the church falsely calls the rapture, when that comes, when the Lord starts beaming up the elect, and only the elect, they're going to be changed to immortals. All right? That's when we're going to be in league with the stones.
That's
all right?
right.
That's when fire, you can blow your flamethrowers and the fire won't affect us. The cold won't affect us. Nothing will bother us. All right?
Superman.
That's the faith that we have. Right, Superman. Khalil. All right? So we've been trying to tell you these comic book characters, they stole all that right out of the Bible. All right, go ahead.
This is Psalms 18, I started 28. For thou wilt light my candle, Yahweh my power will enlighten my darkness. And that goes, you woke up in the truth. But what, as the scriptures say, the spirit of man is the candle of your house. So when the Lord turned us up, it's going to be over with. It says, for by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power.
And one the troop like 500 men, something like that. All right.
Hey, the scriptures say Saul slays his thousands.
So 1,000 men. So just like Samson did, man. All right. Hey, like I said, you talking about Jet Li and Hero. One dude with one spear fight thousands of men. All right. Wasn't that Neo in one of those Matrix movies? When he was fighting 1,000 Mr. Smiths. You know?
Oh, Edomites. Like you say, though, bro. The time.
Right.
That's how you know he saw the devil, man.
Paul, like I tell you, beware of the man with a bald face and a necktie on. They're the most dangerous individuals the earth has ever seen. All right? With pens, they sign legislation and into law that kills millions of people. It makes people broke and poor. The stroke of a pen. They drone strikes, missile strikes, all that, man.
Then you know they got some crazy sick motherfucking Edomite eating cereal thinking he playing fucking Metal Gear Solid. When we talked about that years ago. He think he playing a fucking video game. He droning wars,
outside the white. Yes.
I ain't never
Right?
seen
The dude, you gotta see the one with Anthony Mackie. When the dude, what they call him, gummy bear or some shit, he's always eating gummy bears on a joystick. All right? Because when he got to that base, the Marines grabbed his ass and jacked him up. Because he got two of their men killed. Yeah, because he did the airstrike when the sergeant, the platoon sergeant, called it up, said don't do it.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to wait and get his men out of there.
Oh,
right?
really?
Because because one of his men went down, and then another man doing what a Marine would do when he went in to go get his man. And he went down too, and they both were trapped. But if they would have played it, they could have got him out of there. You know, they could have got him out of there eventually. Neither one of them, they had time. Neither one of them had injuries where they were going to die right away. They just couldn't move, and they were pinned down. And he decided that he was going to shoot a drone just because there was a vehicle approaching. And he said the vehicle was heavy and it had something in it. And he was telling them, no, we'll deal with that. But he sent the drone in like he was going to save the whole group. I'm going to sacrifice to save everybody else. All right? And then when he showed up on the base, they got word of it and they was waiting for it. You know?
It's like 50 men in the trees, 50 and up.
I looked it up. They said it could be up to 20 to 200 men in a troop. So both troops could be 20 to 50 men. Each troop.
That's why we out here.
Well, the scripture said one would take 1,000, right? five will put 10,000 to flight. So what are we going to be doing? All right? Even if it was us here, to see 10,000 men running from us, what do you think we're doing is going to make 10,000 men flee with weapons? So but they got weapons, but they flee. Because they see what's happening to the men in front of them. They decide they don't want to have no parts of that, man. Hey, you know you can watch this stream on YouTube, don't you? You want a picture of the sign?
I said, I was speaking, if they see that one, that person that was pushing on top of the building, they're going to start backing back.
When they watching guys empty their clips and they have no effect on you, and you just walk up to them and snatch his arms off the body, that's going to make people get ready to see some amazing shit out there that they can't imagine they can see, man. You reaching in and grabbing people's organs right out of their body, man. They gonna see them doing things, and they ready. They gonna see them doing things which they can't imagine, man. All right? Hey, go ahead, brother.
Joshua 23, verse 10. One man that you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord of your power is that fight for you, as he promised you.
That's right. All right, so like the scripture say, if he be for us, who can be against us? Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, man.
This is Psalms 27:1. Yahweh is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yahweh is my strength of life. Of whom shall I be afraid?
So look, there ain't no plan B for us, man. This society is literally weeks away from collapsing, more than likely. Once it starts going, and look, there's about to be no food.
Right.
There's about to be no gas.
Right.
In every end of the world scenario, apocalyptic movie, you see a parking lot on the streets. All the cars are sitting there. Because they're going to hit it with that EMP, and all the cars are going to be left there. All right? And there's going to be no food, and you people are actually going to start eating each other. All right? Cannibalism was done in the past. So I'm going to tell you what's going to be going on. There's going to be a lot of robbery. People are going to be robbing people for food, water, supplies. There's going to be a lot of rape. These women are going to be getting gang raped by 50 dudes at a time. Out here in these streets. Right. Real talk. There's going to be no 911, no police. We're going to see how independent you are, and how tough you are on those days. Right. You're right. Then it's going to be a lot of that. Okay? And then it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be infected with all these viruses that they got, that they're about to release, man. It's going to be utterly nuts out here, right? Pets, the dogs going to be running around. Because people are going to let their dogs go. They're not going to have the heart to kill them. They won't be able to feed them anymore. It's going to be like a nightmarish dream that you just can't wake up from. You're going to escape. You're going to survive one block. Think you're going okay. You're going to turn another block. And the shit gonna start all over again.
And you're gonna go from fucking starved, drug addicted zombies. You're gonna turn the corner, you're gonna have a bunch of AI, fucking robot dogs with machine guns on them.
Yeah.
You're gonna turn the other corner.
That's another thing to watch. Monsters of Men. All right? And then you watch Monsters of Men and you watch Metalhead. Yep. And you put the two together, man.
Yep.
You fucked. Right? Those things in Metalhead, the dogs were chasing people down. And when the lady, when one got shot and messed up his gun and carried 9mm, the thing went to the kitchen, reached up, grabbed the knife, and attached the knife to his hand. Now the thing was chasing you down. You just couldn't get away from it, man. It's like, well, damn, he was better off with the gun.
Right.
That's why. At least the gun was more versatile, man.
Right. Hey, that's why we're going. Hey, the Lord gonna send Michael. You guys, it's gonna be that bad. The Lord gonna send Michael.
Yeah.
Just to stand up and be elected, man.
It's gonna get really bad out here. Plus, Esau gonna be out here like the Kurds, flamethrowers and machine guns.
That shit gonna be chasing people.
And then all of the able. Right. Drones flying all over the place.
Great drones.
The robot dog with the machine guns on the back.
The book of Job 5:17. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrected. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of Almighty. That's why we got the scriptures brotherhood, man, because to be a part of this glorious, royal, divine army, you gotta be forged in the fire and beaten into shape, man. That's the only way you're gonna get all this goodness that we got and escape all the badness that's coming. Right? When he make it sword and bind it up, he wounded and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee.
Right? 7 is the number of completion. Right?
Lots are gonna happen. The elect, they're gonna be straight. In 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 27, it says, "Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness coming, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Lord." They said, if your way please the Lord, he make your enemy be at peace.
Right? And people will be eating. All these people will be hungry. Right? Yep. People will be eating and everybody else will be hungry. So if you're not a part of this, you know, if you're not a man of the Lord, if you're not a wife or woman of a man of the Lord, you're screwed. Point blank period.
One of the women.
This is true. Yeah, hey, because you got it. Matter of fact, go ahead and bring it out.
Yeah, put that paper
We'll
in.
the last scripture, because and hey, Isaiah 4:1 is going to come into play right along with everything that's happening.
Yes, sir.
So you got to be prepared to share your man.
Yes.
That's the way the Lord intended it to be. Right? We live in a society that's going opposite of everything that's in the Bible. We read.
I got it.
Because you will be one of many wives.
That's right. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. So you're going to finally be independent. It says, only let us be called by thy name.
The only way you call by a man's name is through marriage. And marriage in the Bible is sex. All right? That's why we don't believe in promiscuous behavior and all that thing. Because when you with a woman, that's your wife. Read you her.
It says only.
And right.
Right. It says only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
So the woman's reproach is going to be taken away by a man of the Lord that she actually has sex with and becomes his wife. According to God's word, not according to this world we live in, you're going to stand before someone and say, by the power invested in me. That ain't marriage. Read.
Isaiah 41 in the CSB version. On that day, 7 women will seize one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and provide our own clothing. Just let us bear your name, take away our disgrace.
There you go. All right, so they never going to read that in any church, I promise you.
That's right.
They're not going to, because look, the biggest money makers are the women. All right, and the Bible is not very friendly to women at all. So they avoid all the scriptures.
Didn't that lady tell you that? That lady said we're trying to get you to come to that bullshit?
Luca, the little foreign chick.
I know it, but
she was like, no,
I know what it's
not
saying
that
now.
Bible. But our women don't get it. Our people don't get it. She said, no, not the Bible. No. I want to get the Bible. That's a patriotic book. It's women are subservient to men according to that book. So I ain't trying to. She wasn't trying to hear that Bible.
Hey, but at the same time,
But I'm like, when I just looked at it, I was like, well, damn, well, at least you know, because these Christians don't. They run around talking about, I'm saved, you don't know nothing about that.
sanctified, eating pork, talking about you sanctified,
Just-
filled with
just
the
like-
Holy Ghost.
Just wipe the shrimp juice off your mouth. But hey, with that, man, hey,
Yo,
hey, brother.
Let's go.
Nah, he ain't.
Oh, come on.
Anyway, he's trying to see out, man. All right, hey, no, first we're gonna take that picture. Talk about. Hey, so hey,
No, y'all can close out the
so
camera.
with that-
That's for non-the-cameras.
So with that, give all praise, all honor, and glory.
To Yahweh,
Above, above, above.